Hi, my name is Gabby Rosa, and today I'll be talking about the impact of digital forensics. So, to make this web page, we used HTML and CSS attributes, which you can see if you go to this page right here. It just has the basic kind of skeleton of the web page and the different tags we use, the different types of style choices we have, the script language to tell you the date of the web page. And also it shows things that you can only see in this view, me telling you what my background images are made from, etc. And also, to make this banner, I used the editing app Pixlr. I took photos from the internet and kind of cropped them together, added different text color, and same with the logo. It's a picture of me, a picture of something relating to my topic, and then my logo that I made. So, like I said, my project is on the impact of digital forensics. Digital forensics are extremely beneficial for investigative use in cybercrimes such as financial fraud, hacking, other computer hacks. This can also be used for everyday people and everyday use to make sure that the people you're talking to online are really who they say they are. So, the purpose of digital forensics is that it helps society as a whole to be safe on the internet. Digital forensics is the branch of forensic science that encompasses the recovery and investigation of material found in digital devices, often in relation to computer crime. The purpose of digital forensics is to uncover and interpret electronic data and to preserve any evidence in its most original form while collecting, identifying, and validating the digital information for the purpose of reconstructing past events. Digital forensics combines the elements of computer science and law in order to collect evidence that is admissible in a court of law. And with this evidence, people can be punished for committing cybercrimes, and that it can also punish any criminal if there's any evidence online that can be gathered from them from their computers, like incriminating text, posts, etc. For example, the Boston bomber, he posted all these cryptic things online that investigators gathered and realized he was premeditating all the horrible acts. Like I said, people can perform their own digital forensic investigations, like using reverse Google image search to see if the people they're talking to online are actually who they say they are, or just using fake pictures. And this is a picture of a guy using all the different tools for digital forensics, my little magnifying dude. And then this video is just a overview of digital forensics.
When you discover that your enterprise has been breached or has been evicted.
I won't play the whole thing. So then the effects and impacts. There's definitely more beneficial things than harmful out of this innovation. The benefit of it is that digital forensics is creating safety for internet users. It's extremely beneficial for investigative use in cybercrimes such as financial fraud, hacking, and other computer attacks. It benefits internet users by also solving these crimes and determining ways to prevent them from happening in the future. If somebody's identity is stolen, digital forensics can be used to gather evidence and eventually determine the source of the fraud. In some instances, people can pretend to be love interests, family members, whatever, in order to scam people out of their money, thinking they're giving it to people in need. Digital forensics can be used to determine if the people you're talking to online are actually who they say they are. So this is something I gathered from my survey online. I created this graph and it said that it just shows a comparison between the impact that people thought this innovation had on their own life versus the impact on society. And clearly people really thought that it had an impact more on their life as a whole than as on society as a whole than their own individual lives, which is understandable because people don't really believe that it's affecting their own individual life instead of in society as a whole, because like not all these things happen to people all the time, but it does happen a lot, especially kids our age. We don't really get our identities hacked. So a field that is other than computer science that has been impacted by digital forensics is definitely the law enforcement. They're using this digital forensic science in order to punish people and in order to determine the source of hacks and scams. Digital forensics also impacts police officers since it can be used to determine the location of criminals just by a trace of their GPS location. The Austin bomber recently happened. Digital forensics helped track down the identity of him, which helped to lower the loss of life since the video they found gave a lot of insight into the mind of the bomber. And then this graph here is just, in your opinion, what is the biggest challenge facing digital forensic investigators today? And the two biggest things were encryption and cloud forensics, which we'll get to later. And then this is my original video where I highlight the fact that digital forensics are extremely beneficial for investigative use in cybercrimes such as financial fraud, hacking, and other computer hacks. My video also demonstrates that digital forensics can be used to determine if people you talk to online are really who they say they are. Digital forensics is the preservation, identification, extraction, interpretation, and documentation of computer evidence which can then be used in a court of law. With digital forensics, we are able to track down hackers, recover stolen data, and aid in other types of investigations involving computers. Even at home, you're able to use the techniques that real investigators would with digital forensics. With Google's reverse image search, you're able to determine if a photo is fake or not. You can look for images that are exact matches, as well as those that are thematically similar. Not only can reverse image be used to spot fake images, but it can be used to determine if the people you're talking to on the internet are really who they say they are. You can also check out the metadata of the photo to determine when the picture was made, by who, and where. For that video, I used the editor WeVideo, and I also recorded it on my laptop. Technical aspects. So the user interacts with digital forensics through making a forensic duplicate of the media acquired, or also a logical copy, which is a live acquisition because now we have the cloud computing. This is just a video of how to do reverse image search in Google for everyday users. So for the innovations technology, incorporating at least one of the big ideas of abstraction and algorithms programming, for programming, you need to just basically know the knowledge of technology and how networks work. Also, the internet, suspects use the internet and sometimes spread the most incriminating evidence online. And in detail, algorithms, there's something called a forensic hash, which is used for identification, verification, and authentication of file data. A forensic hash is the process of using a mathematical function and applying it to the collected data, which results in a hash value that is a unique identifier for the collected data. There are multiple hash uses for hash algorithms. One is cryptography, another is identification, and then authentication. So the relationship to data, describe how the innovation consumes data as input and as output. So input, the investigators consume data by acquiring evidence and analyzing them and reporting about it. So that's the output, which is when you produce the conclusion. And also, a concern is definitely cloud computing, because storage of sensitive corporate data on a remote server kind of raises concerns regarding the privacy and accessibility of that data by second party like hackers. And then this is my reference page, and definitely one of my most useful was the National Institute of Justice. And it just told me a bunch of background information and the types of different forensic evidence and everything that can help.